we got to talk about the new biggest disaster in the NFL. It is highly unfortunate. We just had a funeral for the Chiefs. We got to have a funeral for the 12-week run in which the Colts were the best offense in the NFL. Daniel Jones is obviously torn his Achilles. A week after he broke his leg and played through it, he came out, non-contact injury, tore his Achilles out for the season. I'm sure next season's in jeopardy as well, which creates the new biggest issue in the NFL because they traded 2 first-round picks, going all in on this era, assuming it was real, believing in Daniel Jones to lead them, trading 2 first-round picks for a cornerback, mind you, so it does very little to offset this because it's not an offensive player. They're in hell now, I think. And that might be putting it lightly. What's worse than hell? They're in eternal damnation.
Steelers fandom, like just purgatory. This is as bad of a situation as you can be in, and it flipped so quickly for them to think that you found somebody. Your only hope is that Anthony Richardson has taken this year off, and he has been putting on a VR headset, and he's been watching film and diagnosing, and next year he just comes back and he's able to just be this great quarterback, and he's able to put it all together.
Oh shit, it's official.
Yep. We said they're in hell. They're so deep in hell that they have officially right now at, what time is it? Tuesday, December 9th, 11:56 a.m. Central Standard Time. They have signed Phillip Rivers to their practice squad.
Wow.
44-year-old Phillip Rivers, who has not played since 2020, is now a member of the Colts. I saw a tweet earlier that he's there to mentor Riley Leonard. So
makes sense.
I guess makes sense. Maybe, Riley Leonard's also hurt, so I should mention that. Not only Daniel Jones have no Achilles, Anthony Richardson has no face. He broke his face muscle, his face bones like 8 weeks ago. He's still out. Riley Leonard hurt his knee in his first game. He had to come into action. Complete quarterback hell. You're signing 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. That's insanity to say out loud. I cannot believe Phillip Rivers is back in the NFL. What the fuck does that? What?
Yeah, they're in hell.
This is an existential crisis now. Because not only are you losing your ability to win a Super Bowl this year, like you went all in for, right? Mm-hmm. You're losing your ability to probably win a Super Bowl next year. What do you do with Daniel Jones this summer? He's a pending free agent. And you only make that trade, trading 2 first-round picks, because you're comfortable paying him and having him be your quarterback of the future. Mm-hmm. That already was a risky endeavor because he's Daniel Jones and has had more years being abjectly terrible than he has being a revelation this year, being so great. Coming off an Achilles tear, I don't want to pay any quarterback coming off an Achilles tear, let alone one with years of inconsistent accuracy under pressure that needs his mobility to handle that pressure. Now he has one less Achilles and he's due for a payday now. So you either have to say we're out on him, we're not going to pay him because he's damaged goods, which throws this entire 5-year era into question, or you pay him a handsome amount of money with no Achilles and pray to God he magically is just as good as he was before.
Listen, man, the game is tough.
The game is rude. The game is cruel.
The game is tough. It's hard out here. And if I'm the Colts, and obviously I have my prior feelings about Daniel Jones, but if I'm also the Colts, I can't have 2 question marks in my quarterback room. I can't have Anthony Richardson and still not know whether or not he is a viable quarterback for the future. And I can't have Daniel Jones with no Achilles be in the quarterback room. That's too much. It would be too much invested into question marks at the most important position on our team. I would not do it. I would not pay Daniel Jones, and you would just have to cut your losses.
He brought the Colts back is what he did. He was a brave NFL QB, and in this house, Daniel Jones is a hero. End of story.
Good job. Good job.
And I brought this up to say, shout out Daniel Jones, man. This is so unfortunate. Obviously unfortunate for the Colts. They're in hell now. That will be the hardest decision in the NFL this summer, what to do with Daniel Jones, whether or not to pay him, whether or not to have faith in Anthony Richardson, have faith in Riley Leonard, revisit the draft, somehow get a quarterback when you don't have a first-round pick. That'll be hard. So tough for Daniel Jones, who is on the precipice of being the next great quarterback reinvention story. Like, he truly was. For where he came from and in preseason expectations, when they decided to start him, and we were up here saying, there is no chance this works. We know who Daniel Jones is. Terrible. To playing, giving them for a large stretch of the season, for a solid 8 weeks when they were 7-1 through 8 weeks, the best offense of modern NFL history for that stretch. Truly remarkable. This is so painful for him.
Yeah, this is easily, of course, like, honestly, when it comes to just storylines, this is the worst possible case in the NFL in general. This is one of the more unforeseen things that I've seen going based off of like his where he was as a player when he was with the Giants. If I was the Colts, me personally, I would want to maintain him. And obviously now that he fucking shattered his Achilles or whatever, you probably have a little bit more leeway. But I would just more so want to maintain having his presence bare minimum in the locker room because, bruh, like you're coming off of like having guys like who before Phillip Rivers or after Phillip Rivers, you had Matt Ryan, Gardner Minshew, obviously Anthony Richardson as well. At least give the hope, or at least showcase that you're wanting to have someone like Daniel Jones and give him another opportunity. You don't have to sign him to a long contract or anything like that, obviously.
Yeah, maybe culturally for the team, it'll be good to retain him. And I'm sure he's a good locker room guy. There was that screenshot of after he tore his Achilles, it was raining and he still came out and sat on the sideline to support his team. I'm sure that'll be good for the locker room to keep him, pay him, have good morale. NFL's a cutthroat business, and you got to pay quarterbacks a lot of money.
Everybody will understand, and then especially in recent memory, obviously different range of players and where they're at in their careers. But the last 3 quarterbacks to tear their Achilles, you got Deshaun Watson, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Kirk Cousins.
0 for 3. All of them couldn't move at all after that.
Damn.
All of them got their mobility zapped. 2 of them are old. Deshaun Watson, lots of reasons why he's garbage, but I'm sure the Achilles tear is one of them.
And if you take away mobility from Daniel Jones and you say, go back there and be Aaron Rodgers, be Kirk Cousins, be this pocket passer that's able to diagnose everything, I'm not sure that's the best course of action for this team. So you have to do all of this while managing Sauce Gardner, who left the game the week prior with the left calf strain, which at this point is like like you hear calf strain and then instantly triggers like, oh, his Achilles is about to rupture.
It's up next, yeah.
I forgot he got hurt, dude. And like, look at this sentence. Don't you just hate when your QB breaks his leg, then plays through that and tears his Achilles, then the backup goes in, but hurts his knee too, and your third QB isn't available either because he blasted his eye socket with a giant rubber band? Don't you just hate that? Then you add in the fact that you traded for Sauce Gardner, gave him 2 first-round picks for him, immediately gets hurt. And then not only does that happen, not only do you have Sauce out, you traded for Sauce because you wanted to have an elite cornerback duo with your various Ward. Guess who's also hurt again? Who's placing concussion protocol? This is insane. This is truly remarkable.
This is the worst 3 weeks that I've seen from a fucking franchise, bro. Damn.
Like, dude, what did they do? Who did they harm? Oh, you know what this goes back to? I just remembered.
What did they do?
This is a blood sacrifice for the Indiana Pacers making the finals.
Oh, yeah.
First Tyrese Halliburton had died for their sins. They pushed it too far. They took too much out of the vault. They sucked too much life out of that. He paid for it. Then Caitlin Clark paid for it. Then
Daniel Jones.
Just one before that little awkward dimension.
Oh, true.
Ooh.
It's okay. However, now all of this is going on. They have to pivot. They have to figure out what to do.
What does that mean? What does a pivot look like when you have no first round picks, no quarterbacks?
You know what time it is, man. You know what time it is. They don't like you over there in Cleveland. Go to a team. I will keep my wrist up for the year.
You're joking, but that actually sounds really sexy.
Like 100% or 99.9%, it's a joke. That other remaining percentage, they do need something. And I think that if Anthony Richardson is once again going through they brought in Daniel Jones because they didn't believe in Anthony Richardson, and he obviously hasn't been able to play. So you still really are in the same position that you were last year, which is, can this guy who now hasn't played NFL football in a year and who has routinely been injured, whether he's been on the field or off of it, working out with resistance bands, if any of that stuff happens, can we get a quarterback in here that we can halfway believe in? And I do think that in terms of retread quarterbacks or quarterbacks that will be available, you are going to be dipping into the pool of, do we go get Joe Flacco again? Do we go call Jameis Winston? Is there another option that gives us a little bit more flexibility? And if the Browns do take a quarterback first overall, maybe Shador is on the market because, again, he's a 5th round pick and they don't seem to be overly invested. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. I'm looking around. I'm looking for. You brought in a 44-year-old quarterback.
You're talking about retreads. They have Phillip Rivers isn't that much older than Bo Nix.
You're clearly desperate, and just thinking about young quarterbacks or people who are going to be available right now, like he is on that short list of guys that you can anticipate being.
That is a good
available.
point. This is the best copium for Colts fans. That obviously you're cursed. Obviously your life is in fucking shambles now, and there's not much you can do about it. But there is one thing to point to. Shane Steichen built Daniel Jones with a box of scraps in a cave. He can do it with someone else. Clearly, you thought you were fucked with Anthony Richardson flopping, and then you found your savior literally from the trash heap. And shout out Daniel Jones, he played a part of that. He was a good scheme fit. It wasn't entirely that like just coordinator. But my God, did Shane Steichen do a large part of giving Daniel Jones the ecosystem to thrive like that? There's probably other quarterbacks you can do that with. And there's always options.
And realistically, it probably is going to be like Mac Jones or something.
That's not too bad.
That comes in here and tries to run this offense.
Trade a 4th round pick for Mac Jones.
That's probably the like if I'm the Colts, like, because if I was anybody else, any other team, obviously, like, I'm not really super interested in going out and bringing the Shador Mania into my building. And so what can we do? We are going to get one of the whitest men in America in Mac Jones, and we're going to bring him into Indy. He's going to be able to run the system. It's going to be fine. And as long as our offensive line and Jonathan Taylor can be good, you still expect your defense to see if we can keep taking steps forward. Can we patch it together, still win this division? Yeah. So Mac Jones right now, and especially as I'm like realistically talking through it, he's probably the guy.
Yeah. Okay. So this year you're kind of cooked, unless Phillip Rivers can play, or unless Riley Leonard is good and surprisingly good, which I don't think anybody views him as that. But again, if Shane Steichen is this QB whisperer that can fix these guys, then who's to say, right? Maybe he has a magical run. Probably cooked for this year, which is highly unfortunate because this was your year. Next year, though, doesn't have to be cooked because for the same reason Daniel Jones can make it work, there's other quarterbacks that can bring in and make it work.
Yeah.
Highly unfortunate. They already blew draft capital. That would be a necessity to find those guys. But, if you're already all in, keep going all in. Trade some more picks, goddammit. Kyler Murray's right there. He probably needs a 2nd round pick. Keep it going.
Honestly, hope they hurry up and find their answer as soon as possible and they don't find themselves different situation in terms of how you got here, but you don't want to be in the same situation as the Vikings in terms of you have pieces. You have way more pieces than the Vikings and Tyler Warren, who's one of the best tight ends in the entire league. Of course, Josh Downs is there, Alex Pierce. And then I didn't even mention Jonathan Taylor, who was in MVP conversations just a couple of weeks ago. Still like the best back in the league. Find this answer fast as possible.
Yeah.
No time can be wasted.
Staying on the topic of Daniel Jones being a good guy, being a guy who doesn't deserve this. It's a funny little story. Today I learned that Daniel Jones broke his collarbone in college. 2 of his Duke teammates made him a 3D printed pad that enabled him to play just 3 weeks later. So that happens when you go to school with nerds. It works real well. After graduation, these guys then turned it into a legitimate business called Protect 3D. They won $50,000 from the NFL's innovation competition and have even secured a contract with the DoD for military-grade wearables. They're working with the fucking government. But when Daniel Jones fractured his fibula this year, he called them up again for help. They made Daniel Jones another custom pad, picture below, which is helping him play with a broken leg.
What the fuck, man? Shout out to connections. That's crazy.
He's got brothers in the military.
He got military equipment on the field.
Getting defense contracts.
What the fuck?
What a story.
You mean nerds?
That's silly, bro.
Shout out Duke.
No shout out Duke.
All right, man, fuck Duke. How about that?
Yeah.
How about we don't shout out military contracts? How about that?
Yeah.
Next thing, though, to end this segment talking about Daniel Jones.
We hate Duke.
On this topic, though, obviously Daniel Jones did a lot to repair his reputation this year. I want us to pick one player at every offensive skill position that completely repaired the reputation this year.
Okay.
Quarterback, running back, tight end, 2 wide receivers, guys who completely were written off and rewrote the book on themselves.
Okay.
So first off, quarterback, who are we going with?
It's Daniel Jones.
It has to be Daniel Jones.
100%.
Salute to a real one, pour one out, one less Achilles on his body. But we'll always remember these first 12 weeks. These first 12 weeks are magical. I've never seen a guy who I was so confident is a bum be playing this goddamn well for this long.
He got benched for Tommy DeVito.
And he led the best offense in the NFL for 12 weeks.
That sounds like a horror story turning into a dream come true.
Never give up on your
dreams. This sounds like it's
dreams.
off of fucking Disney, bro.
We mentioned this with Norm Powell on the NBA show. Never give up on your dreams. You too can become a star 10 years into whatever you're doing. If you rap, keep rapping.
Every day.
If you want to make movies, you got an iPhone, go shoot a movie. Figure it out. Keep going. Post those TikToks.
Do it. Listen, man, that's it. That's all we can say. You just have to be active. You have to go ahead and just do it.
Sam Darnold deserves an honorable mention for 2 seconds.
Last year he was
He's still him.
Yeah.
He's still Sam Darnold.
Running back.
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams is up there.
Yeah.
He was completely written off. People forgot about him. I also feel like DeAndre Swift was the most hated running back in the NFL week 1.
Yeah,
that
you're
guy
right,
was
you're
certified
right, you're right.
blind. Nobody had faith in him. The talk all summer was, please draft Genty. We can't give Ben Johnson Swift again. Swift can't see a hole to save his life. Kind of cooking.
So I had DeAndre Swift. I had Travis Etienne.
Okay.
Feel like he was on the verge of consistently getting his chain snapped.
Oh, for sure. We're talking about Bigsby and Tua can both snatch the chain.
Exactly. And now it feels like this running game with Liam Cohen is running through Etienne again. Like I feel like he's kind of, revamped his reputation again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Common through line with all these guys. Clayton Adams, Liam Cohen, and
Ben Johnson.
Elite coordinators will save your running back's broke ass life. Go find the next wonderkin play caller. He can fix anybody.
Facts.
Tight end.
Ooh,
This is the
Who's
hardest
that
one.
tight end?
I put Dalton Kincaid. I think after last year, Dalton Kincaid was looking a little busty. And pause. He was looking a little bust adjacent. And this year, he's one of their most productive receivers.
Okay. Yeah, we can go with that. That's
Okay.
also, again, a lot of it's out of necessity because
Yeah.
nobody up there is
Because
serious.
Keon
Yeah.
Coleman's eating cookies. He doesn't want it.
So funny.
Someone's got to snatch the chain. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, so yeah, Kincaid is a fine pick. For a moment, it was looking like Kyle Pitts was like, a solid NFL player.
Yeah.
For a moment. The first half of week 1?
Yeah.
Mad
Listen,
average.
that's more than he was
Preseason?
giving, that's more than he was giving anybody before.
Okay, 2 wide receivers. Where do you want to go? Plenty of options here.
George Pickens
Number 1 for sure.
Yeah, he's
has
number
to be
1.
on here.
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens looked like honestly the way we were talking about George Pickens was like, if he does not get 10 targets in the first 2 weeks of the season, he's going to be admitted into a mental institution because he's just gonna just do some wild stuff. Well,
Yeah.
really, he's just a really good he's a really good receiver who needs a quarterback like Dak Prescott, who
No,
is
not really good. He's
who'd be
elite.
like
Yeah.
He's one of the best. George Pickens. He's top 10.
yeah.
I would
Before-
say he's top 5 right now.
He's playing like that.
Yeah.
When we first started the show, I said that the Steelers trading him and bringing in DK is a downgrade, and Steelers fans were so mad. They were like, "What are you talking about? DK is so much more proven as the guy." That shit aged like fucking fart.
It's terrible.
This is the worst. Wide receiver 2.
Rome Odunze.
Okay, well, he slowed down though after that hot start. He's kind of looking a little pedestrian again.
He did, but he was looking. But like coming in, it was Rome is like the most pro ready receiver. Like he could step in
Didn't
any
do
day,
that. Yeah.
and didn't do that. And so I do feel like because year 1 was as bad, it was like is he a bust? Like is he a Galen DeBoer merchant?
I wish we could say Marvin Harrison Jr., but he's looked exactly the same.
For a second, it was QJ on the Chargers.
Yeah, for a second. The second's been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been some time.
Stephon
now.
Diggs, another guy kind of like Pickens, is thought to be a diva coming off an ACL tear. He's been a leader, very good consummate professional in that locker room.
That's a good option.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, we can get there.
We don't have to go there though, but I don't know. Shit, Michael
I
Wilson
like it.
is apparently
I like
he's Calvin Johnson as soon as Marvin Harrison Jr. gets hurt.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anybody thought of Michael Wilson that
disgusting.
way. I traded you Michael Wilson in fantasy as a throw-in in Dynasty. I didn't give a fuck on Michael Wilson. You still have him?
I think so.
Oh, shout out. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill went down. He's productive again. People kind
Okay.
of written him off.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the worst. It's not
It's
the worst
alright.
thing in the world. Who else? Listen, for a moment, there was a stretch whenever AJ was hurt. I feel like Smitty kind of got himself back into like, oh, this guy's like legitimately like that.
Okay, I don't know.
Conversation.
I don't think people thought Smitty was trash though. So it's not. Maybe there was enough of a negative reaction.
That's fair.
But I kind of think he's better than AJ now.
Yeah.
That's that.
I
I
don't
mean, no, but the
I
fact
don't
that can be a combo now
Yeah.
to where like last year was very clear AJ 1, Devonta 2. Like that's why I feel like okay, he's done some.
Okay, we'll give you this because we can't give you anything else positive for the Eagles. So we will give you Smitty's place on this list that he doesn't really make sense on, but I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Right.
And anything for Smitty.